Hello, America. I am the angry man in a suit. I complain about things and say things people don't want to hear because I love my country, unlike Fred Phelps and all the Westboro people. If I could, I love this country so much, I would bleed red, white, and blue if it were biologically possible. Today's rant, or as I like to call it, political conservative talk, is about a question that I have to pose. And it's about the media, of course, as all things in America are. My simple question is this. When did music artists stop becoming artists? I know what you're thinking. Oh, you're just going to pick on the rap community because you're a conservative and you're part of the right-wing political machine. That's not true. Number one, I'm going to pick on everyone because everyone in modern music seems to be doing this. Number two, this is not a racially motivated thing as some of you might think. There are many good, old, respectable African-American musicians. B.B. King, the greatest blues guitarist who ever lived, a real artist and master of his craft. Number two, we've got Louis Armstrong. I wish I could sing even half as good as Louis Armstrong. Number three, we've got Nat King Cole, very good folk singer, and my personal favorite of the African-American musician artists from the jazz era, Sonny Rollins. His song St. Thomas still blows me away to this day. It's one of the greatest saxophone pieces ever, and most people don't even know who he is nowadays. Another thing people might say is, oh, you're just going to bash, the pop community of female artists such as Kesha, Lady Gaga, and yes, I am. But, don't think it's just males and all that stuff. Because they were really good female musicians back in the day who were actually artists and worthy of commanding respect. The Andrews Sisters, for example. Great music artists in the 40s and 50s. Their song Civilization, great, loved it. Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B, one of my favorite World War II songs from that era. And the whole thing is these, and Whitney Houston, of course, can't forget about her, an African-American female singer with a great voice. Even today, there's still a few that I still like and consider respectable music artists, such as Sarah Brightman, a woman who I am convinced has vocal cords made out of solid gold. Her voice is amazing, and it just blows me away every time I hear it. There is a reason she was great in Repo Genetic Opera. But the whole beautiful thing about these artists, though, is that they weren't like a terrible influence. They didn't have to dress like in basically lingerie on stage. No. They went around in respectable attire, dresses, very conservative, but still very attractive and gorgeous women that we looked at as artists and respected them as artists. Not simply because of the fact that they look good in, this year's Victoria's Secret lingerie. The other thing I want to know is what kind of influence are music artists for people of my generation and of the youth for America. The thing is the older music artists like Louis Armstrong, B.B. King, Nat King Cole, most people don't know about them anymore. They were true artists. It took them years to master their craft. Look at Ray Charles, a very great music pianist and singer as well. I mean, What I'd Say is still one of my favorite songs, and he was blind. All right, that took skill and talent. I'm sorry. That man was an artist. Today, it just seems like everyone is something other than a music artist and somehow in the music industry. For example, Snoop Dogg, convicted felon, known Crip gang associate, been sent to jail several times on felony charges. Lil Wayne, once again, a known blood. I've seen him on the cover magazines that say the rise of the Blood Nation through rap music. And then you have the other side of the house, the female music artists of nowadays, who dress like they just walked off a Victoria's Secret runway. What kind of message is this sending to our youth? Is it sending, oh, you be a gangbanger, you be a blood or a crip, and you'll someday become a great rap artist? Is it saying that, oh, if you're a girl, you have to dress in shorty shorts like you just walked out of a gentleman's club, and then you'll suddenly a music artist and guys will like you? Come on, people. This is just terrible, terrible, terrible misrepresentation of music. I mean, I want someone who has actual skill and talent, not auto-tune, making music. And don't even get me started on auto-tune. Auto-tune cannot substitute a beautiful singing voice. It really can't. Like I said, Sarah Brightman, vocal cords made of gold and does not use auto-tune. One of the last truly famous female artists that at least I consider an artist being from the right-wing conservative. Auto-tune took all the skill required out of music and basically said, okay, if you sound like garbage, essentially, we're just going to make it sound okay. The other thing I really, truly, and honestly don't like about music nowadays is also the lyrics and the content and the message they're sending to people. Once again, we're going to go back to the 40s and 50s, which is kind of scary because, in fact, I'm 21 and a product of the 90s. Once again, my grandfather was awesome and showed me the right way of music. But back then, music was beautiful. It flowed. It didn't have a negative message. Elvis Presley never once dropped the F-bomb in a song. The Andrews Sisters never once really got, very explicitly vocal about sex. Nowadays, it's either sex, the F-bomb, every other word, bleep that, bleep this. I swear to God, some of these music artists I hear, if I ever found a censored version of their disc, it would just go beep. It's kind of like one of those ER machines when someone's, when their heart flatlines, just goes like that across the board. And the other thing, too, is there's so much violence in music nowadays. And I can understand some of it because, some of it's anti-war or pro-war, and I can understand that, Rage Against the Machine is kind of like, the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy, I guess, in kind of a really twisted way. But it doesn't send a positive message to kids. And I understand that, not every music artist is in this to be, a good influence for children, so that they're in it to make money. Music is a business. Supply and demand. The American people, for some unbeknownst reason to me that I will never know, demand sex 24 hours a day. They demand violence 24 hours a day, and yet then we preach against it in class, saying that, oh, violence is wrong, oh, sexual content on the internet is wrong, but, oh, God forbid, look at any Lady Gaga concert or any of these other, any music artists, and it just seems like sex and the F-bomb and cursing and violence are all you ever see. And it really, truly disgusts me that we have gotten to this point in music when we used to think, okay, Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B, really good music, like up here. Hummingbird by B.B. King, way up here. The Thrills Gone by B.B. King, I can't even put my hand up that high without it going off the screen. And now we're finally, it seems like we're regressing in our morality, back to the point where we have songs about women taking off their clothes publicly and it's on the radio for all to hear, including kids. Come on, I know there's a parental warning sticker and things get censored, but kids are smart nowadays. They understand that something is wrong and something's up. And also, the way these music artists dress, some of them dress is like just wrong. I remember seeing music as it was an art. Ray Charles would never show up on a concert on a stage shirtless with a microphone with his pants hanging off his hips. The Andrews Sisters or Whitney Houston, at the most, they'd wear one of those dresses with a very, very low back cut, which back then, oh Lord, that was risky. Today, are you kidding me? We have women like prance around stage half naked. Going to a concert nowadays for any modern pop artist is like going to a Victoria's Secret show or a gentleman's club. Just really a lot more expensive. And so, America, I want you to post and tell me what you think. Do you think music is still an art? Do you think that the legitimacy of these people calling themselves artists is still okay when most of them don't write their own songs? They're using auto-tune and other voice-enhancing Microsoft programs. The other thing I want to know is, if you like or dislike, by all means, go ahead, freedom of speech. It's your opinion, do whatever you like. But I also want to know this. If you're a parent watching this, which I'm sure only about 51 people are ever going to see this video because I'm considered, crazy and out of my mind for being a conservative in a liberal world, do you feel that the message that these artists send kids is appropriate for any age or any generation? Do you feel that, we should allow gang influence, violence, and sex into our media for our children and everyone to hear, regardless of age or demographic? I want to know your opinions, America. I really, truly do. So please, respond below, say you dislike it, or better yet, make a response video. Say, angry guy in a suit, you suck and I hate you. By all means, go ahead. I will not stoop to anyone's level and use vulgarity, though, or at least try to avoid it, but, once again, the drill sergeant in me likes to come out, especially when I'm angry. So that's it for this rant, America. I will see you all again in hopefully a week, if anyone actually takes the time out to listen to this. And like I said, if you want, you can find me on Facebook, or you can find me on YouTube. Just Google Angry Man in a Suit. Have a good day, everyone, and good night, America, and God bless.